Could you start by just talking me through sort of your story and your history being an LGBT plus young person?
Okay, well, in year 8, I suppose, was when I first realised that I wasn't straight, I suppose, was year 8. But long before that, I knew that I liked guys. I didn't realise it was a thing. And I don't think I realised that I liked guys. I was just kind of oh, that person's quite attractive, but I didn't think that it was oh, I'm attracted to guys. This is not a usual thing. And then year 10 was when I was oh, I'm gay. And then quite quickly, I started telling people just because I was I don't want to hide this thing. When I finally found myself, I want to be comfortable with everyone else knowing that. And even if people, and I thought about it and I thought, well, what if people are against that? And I was just kind of well, then they're against me and I don't want to know them anyway. So I was well, that will separate the people that are my friends and the people that aren't anyway. So in that sense, that's why I came out quite quickly after knowing. But yeah, before I knew I was gay, I was still an ally to the LGBT community because I thought that, I didn't know where I started in, but I thought that I was LGBT anyway.
You said that you thought that you wouldn't want people to be your friends. Did you lose any friends when you came out?
Not really, no. Because I think maybe some people kind of assumed that I was not straight, so therefore immediately they were oh, he must be gay type thing. So I think a lot of people already thought that. My closest friends, I told a while ago that I knew that I wasn't straight. And then I just confirmed it with them after that, and they were oh, okay, sure, whatever. But I didn't really lose any friends. Some people started acting a bit strange, but not anything oh, he's gay, gross, we can't talk to him, and nothing like that. But yeah.
What about coming out to your family? What was that like?
When I came out to my family in, I think it was about April of what year would it have been, 2015. And I realised about January 2015 that I was gay. And I was really quite chill about coming out to my family because I thought, I genuinely thought they'd be okay with it. And they were. It's not, I'm not going to surprise people. I'm no, plot twist, they win. And they were. So I didn't do the conventional thing of sitting down with my family and being I'm gay or anything. I literally just, I text my mum because I had a good day in school, and I was you know what, I'm just going to come out to my family, because it was a thing where I was talking to a guy as well, and I was well, if this goes further, it's going to be really awkward that I'm going to be dating someone and then having to hide that from my family, and maybe going places with this person being oh, I'm going out with Chloe or Amy, or one of my friends that's a girl, so I can hide the fact that that I'm seeing a guy. So I just texted my mum and I was I just wanted to say that I recently realised that I'm gay and I'm very happy with myself, and I just wanted to tell you. So yeah, I was quite happy doing that. And I know it does sound strange, especially when I hear other people's coming out stories and how differently they feel, and I 100% get that. And I think it's really sad that I was so lucky to feel that comfortable coming out to my family, but some people don't feel that comfortable, and some people can't even, feel like they can come out to their family ever, and that's just really sad,
Is there anyone that sort of didn't accept you at all in any aspect of your life?
People in general, or my family?
Both.
Not really, no. I'm not sure how my grandparents would have felt, but the thing is, I came out after all of my grandparents had died anyway, so I can't really speak to that aspect, because stereotypically older people have older opinions of the subject, but I can't think of anyone that was completely full on against my existence as a gay person.
Do you moving on to homophobia, have you ever experienced any sort of homophobia?
Not people saying things oh, you're a fag, or you're like disgusting or something like that. I know that some people I'm friends with don't agree with the whole homosexuality thing, and that it's a sin and things like that. And other than people acting sometimes strange, I suppose, or saying things like, oh, you're gay, why are you friends with, like, how can you be friends with straight guys, like, do you not fancy them all, and like more like stereotypical stuff that is just rather annoying rather than, I don't know, I wouldn't necessarily call it like homophobia, because I don't think it's right to compare it to things like if someone's verbally or physically abusing you for things like that. Things like that I've experienced quite often. Not so much recently, but yeah.
If someone says something like, that's so gay, about an inanimate object, for example, does that offend you?
I mean, I wouldn't say offend, but it's just sometimes so stupid that, like, if you see like a slanted pole, someone might be like, oh, that's so gay because it's like not standing up straight, haha, and I'm just like, what's the point? And like, if someone makes a hand gesture and it's like, oh, like that, they're like, oh, that's so gay, and I'm just like, what are you doing? What is the point in saying stupid stuff like that? It doesn't offend me per se, but I'm just kind of like, why would you waste your time saying stupid stuff like that?
Do you ever call anyone out for saying something like that?
Sometimes. A lot of the time, though, people, like, if they say it in front of me, this gets me most as well. They immediately, like, apologise, like, really, like, a lot. They're like, oh, that's so gay. And they're like, oh, Declan, I'm so sorry, I just didn't even think. And I'm like, I don't really get offended by it. It's not like you said, oh, that's so gay. It's like, Declan, do you want to marry the... Like, no. But it's just ridiculous that everyone thinks that, like, if someone says something is gay, that you'll immediately start, like, crying over it. So I don't tend to call people out on it, but I'm a bit like, really, guys? Like, and I do say that to them.
Do you think that there is potentially sort of, if you're gay and you arrive in a new place, because you started here at the beginning of year 12, do you think that somebody might sort of try and get you together with another gay guy just because you're two gay people and, you know, oh, you're gay, you must like this person because he's gay?
It's like, it goes back to the whole thing of like, the stereotype that gay people are like only friends with like girls and they're not friends with straight guys. So many girls are like, oh, you're gay, nice, I have like so many gay friends. I'm like, that doesn't really affect my friendship with you. And then a lot of the time they try and like set you up with them. So they're like, oh, you're gay, you have to meet my other gay friend, like insert name here. And I'm just kind of like, why though? I'm like, I mean, I'm sure they're probably a nice person, but just because I'm gay doesn't mean I have one thing in common with them, that I'm gay, and another thing that they're a guy. Like, what makes you think that we'd be good like dating material, or that we'd even like each other like as a friend? That does happen an annoying amount, to be honest, yeah.
Do you think that the world would be a better place if it wasn't heteronormative and everyone had to come out regardless of their sexuality?
I think it would be a better place if it wasn't heteronormative, but I wouldn't, if I could build a world, I wouldn't build a world where everyone has to come out. I'd say the opposite, where like, whether you're, you know, gay, straight, lesbian, trans, the list goes on, you shouldn't have to come out, because it's just such a stupid thing. Like, why should we have to come out? You know what I mean? Like, we make up, I get that LGBT members make up like a minority of the population, but why does that mean we have to come out? It should be something that people are vocally okay with, and I think like more and more people are. And like, I've read like more and more things on the internet of stories where people are like, yeah, if I had kids, I really wouldn't care. Like, I wouldn't need them to come out to me. Like, I'd be like pretty chill if someone just if like my daughter brought home a girlfriend and stuff like that, and I'm just kind of like, oh, that's nice. I think that in like my family, for instance, I think they would have been like pretty okay with me just not coming out and just bringing someone home, but it just felt weird, you know. And that's the thing; it shouldn't feel weird. Yeah. But because we have this heteronormative society, that you feel like if you're not one of the majority, you have to express that to kind of like protect yourself.
Do you not think? I mean, the reason people come out is to sort of let people know who they are and sort of allow them to be themselves. Because I mean, if you're a minority, if you're a different minority, like if you're a different race, if you've got a different colour skin, then it's visually obvious that you're a member of a different minority group. But with sexuality and gender, then there are no real sort of outside indicators, and it's all sort of in your head. So I think that the reason people come out is to sort of
express themselves.
Yeah, but then, I mean, I think that's why people come out. So I think that in some ways, coming out is a good thing, which is why I sort of posed the question saying, do you think it'd be better if everyone came out?
Yeah, but at the same time, people shouldn't feel like they can't express themselves anyway. They should feel like they shouldn't have to come out, so that they can, once they like realise, if they realise that they like, you know, lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, the list goes on, then they should feel free to express themselves immediately, not they have to say to people, oh, I'm gay, and then can start, you know, acting like themselves, as it were, with that person. They shouldn't feel like they have to bottle it up in the first place, is what I'm getting at.